Good morning, cultists! In a previous episode, we left things off back in our capital again. And this time we have a letter to deliver to Hasuf, so let's go talk to him about that now. Hello, Ekun. I suppose I could speak to you. Or maybe Jubilost. I'm sure Jubilost has a lot to say, but Ekun probably might be a little bit easier to speak to. We'll see. Hasuf, what do you say? Vudrani has asked us to give you this letter. She claimed that your families know each other. As soon as you finish speaking, Hasuf snatches the letter from your hand and immediately breaks the seal, quickly running his eyes along the lines. His face grows pale and his hands clench. He takes his time ripping the letter into tiny pieces, enjoying the process. Damn the disgusting wretch in that entire family. They decide to send me a letter, as though I don't know that only poison trickles from their mouths? After calming down a bit, Hasuf turns to you. You probably did not know what was in that letter. All the better. You shouldn't burden yourself with a feud between families living on opposite sides of the world. You did your part, and I'm grateful to you, at least for caring to deliver the letter to me. Though it was written by traitors, your intentions were pure, of that I'm certain. That's it? Do I have to go back to that lady? Do I have to sit through another round of jibber-jabber? Oh no. No, why? Why would you task me to doing that again? Good grief. Masterwork, please. Sure. Non-magical? What does that offer exactly? Let's try that. Okay. So what do I want to not sell? The wolf pelt that we left behind. So sad. So very sad. Alright, Dagger, get out of here. And I think that's about it. Sure. Now, we could sell one of the emeralds, I think. But no, I'll keep both, just in case. What can I buy from you? I think we're okay without buying anything from him right now, right? Yeah. Sure, why not? Camping supplies were definitely okay, and then some. Alright. I guess I should drop off this stuff before we head out again. Sure. Should we talk to Jubilost first? Maybe I will, actually. He is quite verbose, though, so this might take a little while. I'm hoping not. Alright, Jubilost. Time to open your mouth. Jubilost raises his head and closes his notebook.
It's you! Help you, how can I?
What are you jotting down in your notebook all the time?
Notes on our adventures. Good ideas that come to mind. Don't know how it is with you, but in my case, my mind is constantly producing thoughts and ideas worthy of writing down.
Wow, okay.
Some I use in my articles and books. Others I will share with the audience next time I speak at Foray Lake Logos and Absalom. Some other thoughts should be kept out of public view for a while. Our world isn't ready for certain revelations.
Right, okay, so tell me about yourself.
Heard this request many times I have. As we're traveling together, I suppose I can give you an interview, free of charge of course.
Where are you from?
All of Golarion is my home. I am a citizen of the world. Some might say my home is Absalom, that great old patchwork city. It's there that my books and magazine articles are published, and there I am held in particularly high esteem, owing to my vast knowledge. In fact, once I was invited to the College of Mysteries itself, but I prefer to think of Absalom not as home, but headquarters, where I go to plan my next adventure. I've visited every country worth mentioning in Avestan and Garund. I've even trodden the exotic lands of Tianxia. I've seen miracles you couldn't even imagine. And in every place I've been, there was a home that would have gladly received a renowned explorer such as myself. The famous name of Jubilost Narthropple is known even in the most remote corners of the world.
Still, where were you born?
You know, the line between persistence and importunity is very thin. And you risk crossing that line. Do you think I haven't mentioned my birthplace because of my forgetfulness? I was born in Taldor, if you must know. The empire is in decline nowadays, but still cherishes the illusion of its past glory it does. Country torn apart by prejudice it is. In Taldor, my mind was trapped in a cage of restrictions. Birthright, poverty, and their beggars be damned attitude. I left the country as soon as I understood it. So if you ever try to rekindle any patriotic feelings in me, I'll be disappointed. My first article in the Independence was about Taldor. The magazine was almost closed as a result of the scandal that followed, and it would have closed were it not for crowds of my supporters marching in protest under the windows of the publishing house, making its editors change their mind.
You've traveled so much. Tell me about your travels abroad. Juba tilts his head, peering at you.
I've written a fair number of articles and essays on my journeys, and if you'll excuse me, I haven't the slightest desire to retell them all right to you right now. If you wish to learn about foreign lands, pick up any issue of the Independence and read all you like. I'm sure you can find my magazines even in this hole of a place.
Wow. Did not need to sneak at that, gut shot, but sure. So you write books and magazine articles. Wait, magazines exist in this world?
I certainly do. I'm too generous not to share my thoughts and journeys with other minds who search for knowledge. Judging from your face, you don't belong in that category.
Juba sighs.
Among my scientific works, I'd recommend the range of articles published in National Alchemy. If you prefer lighter reading, you might like Traveler's Essays or the scandalous The Independence. If pictures capture your attention better than words, page through the Illustrated Atlas of Avestan, and you should give your cook a volume or two of my culinary almanacs. Trust me, might help it might.
Jubilos throws a speculative glance at you.
Some have tried to blame me for a sleazy romance novel called The Five Sins of Serenray. I have no idea on who spread these crazy rumors, but if you like such frivolity, I've been informed that the novel's sequel, The Sixth Sin, was recently published.
Right, I'm sure you weren't the one to publish this under a fake pen name. I guess all pen names are fake. Are they? Yeah, they're pseudonyms, so, of course. You wear glasses, why don't you ask some cleric to heal your eyesight? Wait, is that how it works in this world? But what if you're born with that condition? And it's not through, like, deterioration of cells or whatever. Jubilos throws a cutting glance at you.
I'm sure you could have figured out the answer to that question on your own, if you bothered to use a logical approach. At least I sincerely hope so. I prefer to think of you as a lazy person, not a stupid one.
Have you met me? I am both, sir. And I'm proud to be, was it lazy? Was it stupid? I don't know. Jubilos tightens his lips.
Well then, I suppose it's my fate to enlighten you. Alright, there's no time like the present. Let's build up to a logical conclusion together. So, starting with the obvious, a cleric's services cost several hundred gold coins. Spectacles cost a dozen gold coins. So maybe I couldn't just afford to pay the cleric. Incorrect conclusion. I earn enough. Besides, some clerics would surely help me free of charge, because they're fans of my incomparable talent. The answer can't be money then, so what is it? Let's explore further. Surely you've noticed that I'm a rather famous person. Just to be clear which circles I'm famous in, my scientific articles are well known among the students and teachers of various institutions of higher education. My articles that satirize the rich and powerful are extremely popular among the minor nobility. Traders and workers, that is. Among anyone who doesn't have any power for themselves. The kind of people who don't usually have enough money to afford an expensive cleric. Well, can you add it all up and find the right answer yet?
Jubilos doesn't let you get a single word in edgewise. Apparently, he's uninterested in your reaction and is just enjoying listening to his own voice.
My spectacles are something that unites me with my readers. People are more open to those who share their social status. Many of my readers can't afford to heal their eyesight at the temple. So when I too refuse such healing, I become closer to the people. My spectacles are part of my image.
Jubilos exhales at last.
I believe I managed to explain the basics of logical thinking. No need to thank me.
You lost me at hello. But thanks for telling me about yourself. Let me ask you about something else. Not too bad. Well, it's only 3 topics. Though this one would tell him to just fuck off, which I don't think I'll do. Tell me something about the history of the gnome race.
What have I come to? Jubilos Narthopol, famous explorer, writer, and scientist, is reduced to giving simple lessons in history. Very well, ask away. What questions do you have?
How did gnomes appear on Golarion?
They came here in ancient times from the First World. You do know what the First World is, right?
Nope.
You don't ask me about it some other time. I used to lecture on it at a couple of institutions. Or institutes. According to the understanding I've accumulated, the gnomes were an immortal race until some of our especially insightful ancestors come up with a brilliant idea. They decided it would be fun to learn how it feels to be mortal. I would very much like to meet those gnomes. I wouldn't even kick them. I'd just look in their eyes without a single word. Too bad they're all long dead by now. As everyone knows, a stupid enough idea can be extremely contagious. So the gnomes caught this infection, all of them, without a hope for a cure. So they found a way to Golarion and decided to settle here. And you'll never believe it, they got just what they wanted. They severed their link with the First World. They gained mortality, the bleaching, and a heap of local diseases that have been keeping our race on the verge of extinction ever since. The bleaching, what the fuck is that? Is that when you bleach your skin and become really pale like a certain celebrity? The bleaching is the name given to the physical decolorization and aging of a gnome, and is caused by the lack of exposure to new and exciting experiences. This bleaching of color is accompanied by a psychological decline, first into depression and apathy, and eventually into madness and death. Gnome efforts to fend off the bleaching only serve to fuel their racial curiosity and whimsy, giving it somewhat of a manic edge. Some claim that the bleaching is a result of the gnomes leaving the First World thousands of years ago. Rare gnomes survive the bleaching and develop an enigmatic wisdom and connection to the natural world, earning the name Bleachlings. I see, really? Interesting, so... what? Can they actually live forever if they continue to experience new things? Wow, that's actually pretty fascinating. Do gnomes live long?
Certainly, long and happily ever after.
Juba shakes his head in remorse.
We'd live as long as elves were it not for the bleaching. That's the curse of a race, which only struck after the gnomes left the First World. To put it simply, gnomes must continuously have new experiences. If a gnome gets into a rut, so to speak, he bleaches. We start to lose color, literally. Our skin and hair become pale, and the worst thing is that our soul loses color too. If the process continues unchecked, the gnome dies. History recalls only a few cases where gnomes actually died of old age. Most of them perish either because of the bleaching, or in the middle of some crazy adventure they joined, just to stave it off.
So you travel so much as a way to fend off the bleaching. Juba stares at you, then nods slowly.
You see, I enjoy being alive.
Do you really?
I like to eat pancakes in the morning. I like to write articles for magazines. I like it when I leave the publishing house in Absalom and a crowd of fans immediately mobs me.
I'm sure that happens all the time.
So I don't intend to die at the peak of my life because of some stupid ancient curse. But don't you dare imagine that everything I do is just for fear of the bleaching. I tell people the truth about the world that surrounds them. My theoretical research aids the development of different branches of science in various institutes. Yes, sooner or later I'll bleach and die, like any other gnome. But the name of the famous Jubilus Nardropple will live throughout the ages.
So I guess a good way to kill a gnome is to just stuff it into a box and not let it experience anything new. Or maybe just send it to a prison or something. Let's change the subject. I'd like to learn more about the First World.
Yes. Well, you've asked the right person. I'm an expert in studying the First World. Give me your questions.
The First World. What's it like? And also, babbies. How are they formed?
It's huge, wild, and extremely unfriendly to the unprepared traveler. Nothing remains constant there. Matter changes before your eyes. What was a mountain yesterday becomes a river today, and that river flows into your butt. The trees touch the sky. The heat of the desert can melt metal, and hurricane winds can tear a person apart. But it would be wrong to think of the First World as a plane of total destruction. Creation is just as important there. The deserts spring alive into forests, and when the hurricane subsides, animals emerge from hiding, huge, wild, as untamed as the world itself. The First World epitomizes life in its original chaotic meaning. But there's a theory that gods used the First World as a training ground to practice their ability to create matter. Then they then abandoned the First World to its own fate and wandered off to create Golarion. Some say that the inhabitants of the First World still hold a grudge against the gods for this.
How can a person get there?
Mainly through magic portals. created by skilled magicians, but the price of such a portal is usually in excess of several thousand gold coins. There is another way, of course. There are documented cases where spontaneous portals to the first world have opened in remote places on Galarian, where, as mages say, the boundaries between the two worlds has grown thin. But spontaneous portals are rather dangerous. You never know what's lurking on the other side. Only desperate adventurers and madmen use them. And of course, romantic suicidal idiots who think that good common sense is too boring. Are there any sentient beings in the first world? Of course, the Fae, and all their relatives, and all their relatives' relatives. And then some more Fae besides.
So, in other words, Fae.
Sometimes one meets leprechauns or satyrs there, which are actually another type of Fae, just called by another name. And all of them are mortal, by the way. At least within their own homeworld. The souls of the creature of the first world have no connection with the realms of mortals. When a creature of the first world dies, its soul just materializes in another body, similar to its old one. It's not a pleasant experience, and the resurrected creature loses almost all of the power and abilities it developed over its life, but it keeps all of its memories and personality. It's still much better than a mortal death, I would say. Sometimes the process doesn't even take long. A killer might meet its victim again the following week, sorry. Naturally, this immortality has influenced the way First World inhabitants think. For instance, they enjoy mischief and tricks that can easily end in someone's death. The Fae think that it's just funny, and anyone from another world who falls victim to such tricks doesn't end up having much to say at all. Once the gnomes were immortal relatives of the Fae.
That explains a lot. Ugh, gnomes. Who rules the first world?
It's commonly assumed that the eldest rule it. They are overseers, but more just a glorified version of Fae Lords. Power tracks pompous blockheads in every world.
What are you hinting at? I'm only fulfilling my duty. I do what I have to do. I do what I have the right to do, or remain silent. I do what I have the right to do. Juba stares at you with interest.
Yes, met plenty of pompous blockheads who believed they had the right to do whatever hideous thing came to mind I have. So if you decide to join their ranks, know that you're not the first to walk the path. But let's get back to the first world. The eldest possess the power to keep matter in the first world in more or less constant state. That's why the Fae treat them as demigods and offer them prayers, just as we offer prayers to Desna, Aristal, or even Lamash do.
You know a lot about the first world. Have you ever been there? Juba wrinkles his lips.
I haven't the opportunity yet. Unfortunately, my studies of the first world are limited to the confused statements of witnesses or scribbles in their diaries. I've studied the remains of some unfortunates who periodically fall out of the spontaneous portals. I keep to the hope that sooner or later, I'll manage to visit that wonderful place, and certainly the notes I'd write on the place would be far more extensive and informative than all the ramblings on the subject I've had to wade through. Naturally, the main concern of my expedition would be the safety of its leader, namely me. It would be extremely foolish to go that far and see that much, only to lose the chance to tell anyone about it.
Great. Oh no, still a lot more to go. Oh, I'm so sorry. You must know a lot about the first world. Wait, I already said that. Oh, okay. Tell me, why have you studied the first world so thoroughly? Jubilos looks at you for several moments, his eyes narrow.
I told you already. Like to be alive, I do. I assured you, other gnomes share the same attitude. Between the bleaching, disease, and old age, we have a lot to yearn for. But the ancient gnomes for some reason decided that mortality, the bleaching, and all the diseases of Galarian are preferable to the immortality of the first world. I can't do anything to change that, but I can do something with my own life. I want to find a way back to the first world for all the gnomes of Galarian.
They obviously wanted to become mortal to experience the joys of syphilis and other STDs, clearly.
Unfortunately, to do this, I can't just gather up all the gnomes and send them marching to the nearest portal. We're too attached to Galarian now. We've lost our connection with the chaos of the first world. We become too mortal, if you see what I mean. When a gnome dies in the first world, he dies forever, like any visitor. Like if you die in the game, you die in real life. But there must be something that can be done to solve this problem, and I intend to find out what it is. Jubilas Narthropple, the hero who returned the gnomes home, has a nice ring to it, wouldn't you say?
You're not very friendly, you know. Is he going to be offended by this? I'm assuming he doesn't care.
Do you think so?
Juba looks at you above his glasses.
Why ever not, if I may ask? Perhaps you confuse superficially friendly words with genuinely friendly intentions. Believe it or not, I wish you only well. As a proof of that, I can point to the fact that I travel with you, and that I'm talking with you right here now. Tell me, which do you value more, an artificial smile, or an honest attitude bolstered by friendly advice and assistance?
Even the most useful advice is better received if it's offered the right way. Your advice sounds like your only aim is to please your own ego. Very well, you can behave as you like. I'll be honest with you, too, then. You've become rather too fat lately, so accept this friendly help. Tonight you go to sleep without dinner. I'm assuming he's going to want me to say you can behave as you like. This does carry the sting of truth, though. You know what? I'm gonna try saying this to him. I know it's lawful good, but at least it's lawful.
Here's another piece of advice then. You should learn to see the essence rather than being distracted by colorful wrappings. Otherwise you risk swallowing something you shouldn't, because it was wrapped in golden foil.
Juba adjusts his glasses.
If you cannot separate the sense of my words from what they sound, that's not my problem.
Right, okay. Good conversation. Thanks, man. Fantastic. Wow. I guess someone's really excited that we finished talking to Juba. Alright, I believe Jathel is waiting for me in my throne room. So I'll go speak to her, drop off my stuff, and see if we can actually get one of those events done soon. Hey, Jathel. Enio the traveling merchant. Enio, a half-elf merchant who recently appeared in the capital, falls to the floor in front of you. Jathel stands beside him, looking quite unlike her normal self. Usually cold and stiff, the face of the undead elf now burns with rage. Despite his nearness to his furious undead captor, Enio looked concerned but unafraid.
If you allow me to speak, I can explain everything.
I hope you can, HalfBlood. Otherwise, Jathel hisses and turns to you. Have I told you the sad story of my death? It is sad most of all because I do not remember how my life ended. I wandered, exhausted, through the wastelands beyond the borders of Keonan until I could barely see my path. I stopped to rest, or perhaps I lost consciousness. When I came to my senses, I could hear the call of my goddess returning me from the dead. Was it poison? Magic? Illness? Whatever stole my life away, it left no trace. I thought this mystery would haunt me forever, but then I entered the shop of this half-blood, seeking some reminder of Keonan. And what did I discover there? My very own dagger. Jathel shows you an elven-crafted dagger with a chipped blade and empty sockets where once gemstones adorned the handle. This dagger disappeared the same night I was taken by death. How could this half-blood have obtained it? Let him speak, Jathel. Anger will not help us learn the truth. I don't care to waste my time on this. No, let him speak. That is why, Jathel pauses, respecting your authority, I have brought this pathetic huckster here, rather than getting the truth out of him by my own methods. And I've received Jathel's old dagger. The half-elf rises to his feet and sighs, putting his clothes in order.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, Your Grace. The story is not very exciting, certainly not as exciting as the tale of the drunken regatta within the eye of Abendigo. Yesterday, north of the city, I stumbled upon a dead boar. There was no one around, but the dagger was protruding from the miserable beast's neck. I don't know why the owner would have left it in the carcass. Perhaps the beast escaped from the hunter, taking along the weapon that had injured it? So I inadvertently decided to keep the item I'd found, thanking my luck, and never suspected the price I'd pay for it. Okay. Where exactly did you find the carcass and this dagger? Enio, you face serious accusations. Are you sure you can say nothing more in your defense? Jathel listened to reason. If Enio was involved in your death, he wouldn't be openly offering your dagger for sale. We will investigate this matter further. Let's start by checking Enio's story and seek out this unfortunate boar. Where exactly did you find this carcass and dagger? In the vicinity of the old sycamore.
Oh, we've been there before.
Of course, I'm sure you know that where that tree grows. I found the board to the west of the Sycamore, in the direction of the Thorn River.
Alright, Enio, you face serious accusations. Are you sure you can say nothing more in your defense?
I'll be glad if I could, but alas.
The bright yellow-green of his eyes of the half-elf are calm.
The dead boar is my only witness, but I believe in your justice, Baron. I have faith that you will investigate my story and sort everything out.
Jaethal? Listen to reason? Does it really matter what we say? Yeah, listen to reason. You wouldn't be selling your own dagger if he killed you, right? Your words set Jaethal on her heels. She frowns but calms down. Perhaps that is logical. Wait, what was her voice again? This one would have been, would have to be a useless fool to do such a thing. And useless fools do not easily survive the road. Still, his story should be, verified. It must be. And in any case, the dagger may lead to my killer. We will investigate this matter further. Let's start by checking Enio's story and seeking out this unfortunate boar. Jaethal bows gracefully. I am grateful. It's important to me, and you, HalfBlood, should pray for our success. If you're lying, I shall find a surer way to get the truth from you. Fantastic. Wait, is he still gonna sell shit in my place, I guess? Investigate my death. I see. I'm assuming the old boar's not still there, right? I mean, fucking, when the hell did he find that thing? It's a dead boar. There's no way it's still there. I mean, it probably is based on the story, but still. You know what I mean. Anything else for me to drop off? I guess some of this stuff? I mean, they don't really weigh that much, though. What exactly am I carrying that's really heavy? Besides my camping supplies. Not much. Do we need all this ale? I mean, it's only 5 pounds. Whatever, it's fine. Sure. Okay. Oh, actually, Bartholomew, do you have anything new to sell, by any chance? Hopefully? No? Nothing new still. Okay. Cool. I guess, you know, whatever. I'm not upset. Nope, not at all. Alright, let me see what we have to do in terms of the kingdom stuff before we head out. Jaethal and Fury, so that's done. Oh, so I looked up what the red mark mean. It just means, it just means that they're, not the best choice. So their success chance is lower. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything else, I don't think. Yeah, I guess we'll do this because we kind of need to. And Enchanted Wind. We'll send Canera to deal with this. And that'll be done in 21 days. Gotcha. And this, we'll have to wait for Tristan to become available in 4 days. Where's the old Sycamore again? Not that far from our capital, I don't think. I was hoping that we could go back in this area and maybe even check out the Lonely Barrow, but, the fuck. But considering that we only have 4 days, we might want to stick around this area. Alright, should we rest before we head out? I think... yeah, Valerie's not doing so hot. Do we need to sort anything out in terms of spells? I think we're okay here. Yes. Alright, so we'll just rest before we head out then. Sure, why not? Valerie, feeling better? Hopefully. Healed up? Atta girl. Right, folks. Let's skedaddle. Wait, before I go though, can I turf you some of my shit? Found shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me? Trailblazer's helm. Do you have anything? Have I actually finished anything or not? I can't tell. Brought some relics, any worthy of a story. Alright, so I guess we're just turfing him his shit. Is this new? What was his voice? Shit. The air is so fresh, it is like I'm back home in the woods of my motherland. I can feel a soft breeze through my hair. The storyteller takes a deep breath and laughs. Some of the 5 items are still missing though. Oh, okay, it's not. Sorry, never mind. Fine, I guess we're done here. Get the hell out. Alright, I don't think we need to sell anything else, do we? No, we've turfed all our stuff. So... yeah, let's go. Wait, hold on. Who's got... oh, no, Fabrosi has Ember, and we also have Tiger, our cat, in our backpack. Gotcha. Okay, maybe I'll try dropping off Amiri, and instead either bring a Kun or Juba Lost. Or just straight up drop off Canera too. You know what? I might try rolling with a Kun and Juba Lost for a little while. Yeah. So at least with Tristian, we can do a fair bit of healing. Yeah. Or should we not? I'm actually unsure, not gonna lie. I guess it kind of depends on where we want to go, right? Yeah. Okay, so the old sycamore is right there. Okay, so if we want to do that, then we should definitely bring Jaethal. But I was hoping that we can maybe explore more of this area here. Jubilost not having a lot of health is a little concerning, but I think we should be alright, hopefully. Maybe. Do we have haste with him? Oh shit, we don't. And Ekun doesn't have haste either. Shit. Maybe I should have gotten haste for someone. Besides Octavia and Rigongar. Oof. So those are the only ones that have haste. Then can I change these guys right now? Is that a problem? Or... oh, because we're at the capital, I guess it's not a problem. Alright, then let me do this again. Alright, well, let's actually end the episode off here for now. We'll come back tomorrow and head somewhere. Not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to check out the Lonely Barrow again. My god. Camera just freaking out is a little bothersome, I gotta say. But yeah, otherwise, I guess we can head to the Old Sycamore with Jaethal. Or... oh shit, I forgot to talk to the mother of that child. Do I need to do it right now? You know what, we'll come back and let her know some other time. Sure, she doesn't need to be worried about her child. He's alive! I mean, he was the last time I saw him before he buggered off by himself, so... he might not be alive anymore, but who cares? Alright, so for now, thanks for watching and have a good breakfast!